Camera's good to go? Coach, you good to go?
Yeah.
All right. Game 6, NCAA Nashville Regional. First up, we have Xavier head coach Billy O'Connor. Coach, if you would first, opening statement, please.
Yeah, a tough end to a great season for us. I was very proud of the way our guys competed all through the weekend, all through the season. We didn't put our best foot forward in this game against Oregon, but credit to them. They're a good team. We played them 6 times, and they got us all 6. But proud of what we accomplished this year. It's an unbelievable group of kids that I got the chance to work with on a daily basis, and I told them, just out in the huddle before, it's the easiest group I've ever had to coach. They work hard, they do the right things, they show up and compete, and they're great baseball players and great people. So it's tough when it comes to an end. Loved working with those guys, and it's sad to see it end. But their legacy will stay for a while. This is a year to remember, without a doubt. So proud of what we accomplished.
Questions for Coach?
Billy, you tied a school record, 39 wins. You won a Big East championship. You mentioned a lot of things to remember. What do you think is going to stick out the most about this year?
I don't know. That's tough in the moment to answer right now, honestly. Because when you're in the grind, you don't have time to reflect on accomplishments or milestones or any of that stuff, because you're just caught up in the cycle of getting ready for the next one, and now that there's not a next one for a little while, I'm sure at some point I'll take a minute to reflect on all the special memories, all the things we did accomplish this year, but obviously the Big East Championships is pretty cool. The win over Vanderbilt today is pretty cool. There's some of the things that stick out recently, but you go through the whole season, there's a lot of great memories, a lot of great experiences for our guys. So just the ability to spend time with those guys on a daily basis. They're great kids.
16 seniors, think, on this roster. What kind of foundation have they laid for this younger group that's going to come in next?
Yeah, it's tough knowing who's a senior, who's back, who's not back, and quite a few of those seniors I think will be back for us next year. But the two that have been in our program for 5 years with Jack Hausinger and Andrew Walker, I can't speak highly enough of just what they've done for our program. Two of the best kids that you could ever be around. Really good baseball players too, but just great people, great leaders. If you have a son that grows up to be like Jack Hausinger or Andrew Walker, you've raised them correctly. So they're going to be dearly missed. Not just their ability on the baseball field, but the way that they lead, the way that they bring young kids along. Any success we have had this year, really you can point in their direction as to why we had it. Both with their contributions on the field and all the things that they do, behind the scenes that don't get seen, that you can't look up on the stat line. But our culture's special here, and I think that's part of what makes us us and what's allowed us to have the success that we've had this year. And those two are a big part of what our culture is all about.
Coach, it's a long day today. Obviously, 9 or 10 hours of baseball and a long time in that first game. Can you kind of just talk about going back to that first game, how everything went there, and then how you transitioned into game 2 and getting ready for that one?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was an awesome baseball game. Going back and forth, and obviously taking the lead. And Lure comes in the 8th inning and gets a big punch out the runner in scoring position, and then you're ramped up, you're ready to go for the 9th, and next thing you know, there's lightning. And it was a tough situation, and nobody's fault, right? Everybody's following the protocols of what it's about, but certainly frustrating when you feel like you're 3 outs away from a big win. And not only do you have to wait for a delay, you have to wait for 3.5 hours. But man, you can't speak highly enough of what Justin Lure did in that situation. To come in, to get the punch out, to get through an inning in the 8th, and then sit and go back out, warm up, and then we weren't sure initially. It was an hour delay, and we were ready to go at 5:30, and so we were keeping him throwing every 15 minutes, trying to just keep his arm up. And then he came back out, we were ready to go, and then more lightning hits. So at that point, we decided to shut him down and just he was going to rest during that delay. So he needed a little bit more time to get his arm back up once he came back out. Once we started back up and again at 8, But man, he was lights out. He was so good, and incredibly sharp for any day for him. But even more so, considering he threw 20 pitches 4 hours ago and did it again 4 hours later. So no, it was a great win. Luke Hoskins to give us the start that he's given us. Man, that kid's grown so much this year. He was a kid that he threw a little bit last year with limited success, and his role has just grown as the season's gone on, and you can just see his confidence growing every time he steps on the mound. So, I'm not sure that there's an outing you can have to provide more confidence in the future than going out and throwing 7 could have been scoreless against Vanderbilt in an elimination game in the NCAA tournament. So just excited for him and his future, really.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.